I would speak a word with you, sir. A word that concerns us much.
Aha! Mistress Hester has a word for old Roger Chillingworth. With all my heart. Why, mistress, I hear good tidings of you on all hands. No longer ago than yesterday the magistrate, a wise and goodly man, was discoursing of your affairs, Mistress Hester, and whispered me that there had been question concerning you in the council. I was debated whether or not, with safety to the Commonwealth, yonder scarlet letter might be taken off your bosom. On my life, Hester, I made my entreaty to the worshipful magistrate that it might be done forthwith.
It lies not in the power of the magistrates to remove this object. If I were worthy to be quit of it, it would fall away of its own nature, or be changed into something that has different purport.
Nay, then, wear it if it suits you better. A woman must needs follow her own fancy, touching the adornment of her person. This letter gaily embroidered and shows right bravery on your bosom. What see you in my face that you look so earnestly?
Something that would make me weep if there were tears bitter enough for it, but let it be. I speak of yonder miserable man, Arthur Dimmesdale.
And what of he? Not to hide the truth, Mistress Hester, my thoughts happen just now to be busy with the gentleman.
When we last spake together, now 7 years ago, it was your pleasure to extort a promise of secrecy, as touching the former relation betwixt yourself and I, and the life of good fame of yonder man were in your hands. There seemed no choice to me, save be silent, in accordance with your behest. Yet it was not without heavy misgivings that I thus found myself, for having cast off all duty towards other human beings, there remained a duty towards him, and something whispered me that I was betraying it, in pledging myself to keep your counsel. Since that day, no man is so near to him as you. You tread behind his every footsteps. You are beside him, sleeping and waking. You search his thoughts, you burrow and rankle in his heart. Your clutch is on his life, and you cause him to die a daily living death. And still, he knows you not. In permitting this, I have surely acted a false part by the only man to whom the power was left me to be true.
And what choice had you? My finger pointed at this man would have hurled him from the pulpit into a dungeon, thence, peradventure, to the gallows.
It would have been better so.
What evil have I done the man? I tell thee, Hester Prynne, the richest fee that ever physician earned from monarch could not have been bought with care as I have wasted on this miserable priest. But for my aid, his life would have burned away in torments within the first 2 years after the perpetration of his crime and thine. For Hester, his spirit lacked the strength that could have borne up, as thine has beneath a burden like the scarlet letter. Oh, I could reveal a goodly secret. But enough! What art can do I have exhausted on him. Then he now breathes and creeps about on earth is owing all to me.
Better he had died at once.
Yea, woman, thou sayest truly, better had he died at once. Never did mortal suffer what this man has suffered, and all in the sight of his worst enemy. He has been conscious of me. He has felt an influence dwelling always upon him like a curse. He knew, by some spiritual sense, for the Creator never made another being so sensitive as this, he knew that no friendly hand was pulling at his heartstrings, and that an eye was looking curiously into him, which sought only evil, and found it. But he knew not the hand and the eye were mine. With the superstition common to his brotherhood, he fancied himself over to a fiend, to be tortured with frightful dreams and desperate thoughts, the sting of remorse and despair of pardon, as a foretaste of what waits him beyond the grave. But it was the constant shadow of my presence, the closest propinquity of the man whom he most vilely wronged, and who had grown to exist only by the perpetual poison of the direst revenge. Yea, indeed, he did not err. There was a fiend at his elbow. A mortal man with a once human heart has become a fiend for his especial torment.
Hast thou not tortured him enough? Has he not paid thee all?
No, no, he has but increased the debt. Dost thou remember me, Hester, as I was 9 years agone? Even then I was in the autumn of my days, nor was it the early autumn, but all my life had been made up of earnest, studious, thoughtful, quiet years, bestowed faithfully for the increase of mine own knowledge, and faithfully too, though this latter object was but casual to the other, faithfully for the advancement of human welfare. No life has been more peaceful and innocent than mine. Few live so rich with benefits conferred. Dost thou remember? Was I not, though you might deem me cold, nevertheless a man throughout thoughtful for others, craving little for himself, kind, true, just, and of constant, if not warm affections? Was I not all this?
All this and more.
And what am I now? I have already told thee what I am, a fiend. Who made me so?
It was myself, no more than he. Why hast thou not avenged me?
I left thee to the Scarlet Letter. Has that not avenged me so?
It has avenged thee.
I judged no less. And what wouldst thou with me touching this man?
I must reveal the secret. He must discern thee in thy true character, and what may be the result, I know not. But this long debt of confidence due from me to him, whose bane and ruin I have been, shall at length be paid, so far as concerns the overthrow or preservation of his fair fame and earthly state, and perchance his life. He is in thy hands. Nor do I, whom the Scarlet Letter has disciplined to truth, though it be truth of red-hot iron entering the soul, nor do I perceive such advantage in his living a life any longer of ghastly emptiness, that I shall stoop to implore the mercy. Do with him as thou wilt. There is no good for him, no good for me, no good for thee. There is no good for little Pearl. There is no path to guide us out of this dismal maze.
Woman, I could well nigh pity thee. Thou hadst great elements. Peradventure, hadst thou met earlier with a better love than mine, this evil had not been. I pity thee for the food that has been wasted in thy nature.
And I thee, for the hatred that has transformed a wise and just man to a fiend. Wilt thou yet purge it out of thee, and once more be human? If not for his sake, then doubly for thine own. Forgive, and leave his further retribution to the power that claims it. I said but now that there could be no good event for him, or thee, or me, who are here wandering together in this gloomy maze of evil, and stumbling at every step over the guilt wherewith we have strewn our path. It is not so. There might be good for thee, and thee alone, since thou hast been deeply wronged, and hast it at thy will to pardon. Wilt thou give up that only privilege? Wilt thou reject the priceless benefit?
Peace, Hester, peace. It is not granted me to pardon. I have no such power as thou tellest me of. My old faith, long forgotten, comes back to me, and explains all that we do, and all we suffer. By the first step awry thou didst plant the germ of evil, but since that moment it has all been a dark necessity. Ye that have wronged me are not sinful, save in a kind of typical illusion. Neither am I fiend-like, who have snatched a fiend's office from his hands. It is our fate. Let the black flower blossom as it may. Now go thy ways, and deal as thou wilt with yonder man.
Be it sin or no, I hate the man. Yes, I hate him. He betrayed me. He has done me worse wrong than I did him. Pearl? Little Pearl, where are you?
I wonder if Mother will ask me what it means.
My little Pearl, the green letter on thy childish bosom has no purport. But dost thou know, my child, what this letter means which thy mother is doomed to wear?
Yes, Mother. It is the great letter A. Thou hast taught me in the horn book.
Dost thou know, child, wherefore thy mother wears this letter?
Truly do I. It's for the same reason the minister keeps his hand over his heart.
And what reason is that? What has the letter to do with any heart save mine?
Nay, Mother, I have told all I know. Ask yonder old man whom thou hast been talking with. It may be he can tell. But in good earnest now, Mother dear, what does the scarlet letter mean? And why dost thou wear it on thy bosom? And why does the minister keep his hand over his heart? What does the letter mean, Mother? And why dost thou wear it? And why does the minister keep his hand over his heart?
What shall I say? No, if this be the price of a child's sympathy, I cannot pay it. Silly Pearl, what questions are these? There are many things in this world that a child must not ask about. What know I of the minister's heart? And as for the scarlet letter, I wear it for the sake of its gold thread.
Mother, what does it mean? What does the scarlet letter mean? And why does the minister keep his hand over his heart?
Hold thy tongue, naughty child. Do not tease me, else I shall shut thee in the dark closet.